If you're familiar with One Punch Man, that term fighting spirit definitely rang a bell. There's a character in One Punch Man called Metal Bat whose ability is pretty much referred to as fighting spirit, where he essentially becomes stronger the more damage he takes. So I'll just say that there is a possibility that one of Vegeta's abilities in this form is the more damage he takes, the stronger he gets. So picking up from the end of the previous chapter, we're seeing Vegeta in his new form and he's like blowing his Akai energy aura at Granolah, and he's not liking that, and he's instantly going at him, headbutting him and tossing him to the side. This is immediately showing us that Vegeta is now straight up rivaling Granolah in power, if not even surpassing him. I mean, he doesn't, but at this point, we don't know that yet. So then he continues to rough up Granolah and does a nice little Vegeta combo on him. We went over all this stuff already, going over the spoilers, which I do cover now on the channel, so subscribe if you're interested in checking out the spoilers for these chapters leading up to the official release. But that brings us to the other sequence we were talking about, where Granolah is like lunging himself into Vegeta's solar plexus, and it leads him to say, the thing is, the hotter my battle soul burns, the stronger I grow. And that was giving us some insight into what one of the major abilities of this new form of Vegeta could be. So then Vegeta throws Granolah into the ruins of the old Cerulean city, and this allows them to have a little break so we can get some more dialogue and exposition. And Granolah says it's like he's an entire different person. He gets stronger by taking damage, and what's a god of destruction? So yeah, there it is, the confirmation that that is in fact one of Vegeta's abilities. And if we want to break this down and try to make sense of it, I guess you could consider this Vegeta getting like instant micro Zenkais, which on paper is an absurdly broken ability, but surprisingly it actually turned out to be kind of underwhelming the more we're going to see it play out in this chapter. But then Vegeta reveals that this form has actually been awakened for the first time in this fight, and it was Granolah pushing him this far that allowed him to do it. That's kind of a surprise because I assume that Vegeta maybe had discovered this when he was training with Beerus at the beginning of this arc, and that's how he knew what was going on here. But then again, they do this a lot in Dragon Ball, so it makes sense. But I guess that plays into one of the many narratives and themes of this chapter, and that's Vegeta like ironically constructing his own L's. But we'll get more into that. So Granolah starts lighting up Vegeta with like ki blasts, despite he himself literally just saying that he gets stronger the more damage he takes. But yet he decides to give him more damage and then questions why he's not dodging it. He does like something similar to 17's energy barrier, and then Vegeta reveals what the name of his form is, and it's Ultra Ego. It's not terrible, it's just, I don't know, like a mid name. It could be better, right? Obviously I don't know Japanese and how to make sense of it and localize it and all that stuff, so you know, who am I? But it's certainly better than having to say Wagamama no Gokoi 100 times. So Vegeta just busts through his barrier and continues to send them through the ruins. We're coming back to the genius Granolah, and he says, you aren't even Frieza. There's no way I'll lose to some third-rate Saiyan grunt. And Vegeta's like, I have no idea what tales you've heard, but our home planet Vegeta wasn't wiped out by some enormous meteor strike. It was all Frieza's doing. The Saiyan tribe is yet another pushed to the brink of extinction by Frieza. And then Oatmeal, the voice of reason, says to Granolah, you know, that contradicts what you were told. And then Granolah's like, doesn't matter. Even if you are telling the truth, it's no reason to call off my revenge against you Saiyans. I'm gonna have to pull up Jeremy Johns to finish this one. I swear, I've been trying to like Granolah. I've been looking for reasons, but there's just none. This character sucks, and I don't care about him anymore, and I just want this arc to like move past him. And it's not, because the arc is centered around him. So I hope Frieza comes soon and just kills this dude off or something. I don't know if I can take much more of this character. But Vegeta kicks him in the air, and Granolah like recomposes himself on top of one of the buildings, and Oatmeal starts talking to him again, and he's like, it appears the Saiyans were victims as well. You know, just like you, which is your whole identity here, you being being a victim and getting this nonsensical revenge for it. And Granola's like, so what? That doesn't change the fact that the Saiyans killed my people. And Oatmeal, pretty much the voice of the audience, is like, and yet it does not seem that these two were aware of that. And Granola's like, stop making sense, Oatmeal. And he throws his headpiece off. And he's like, now that I'm the strongest, I don't need your support anymore. But Granolah goes back to Vegeta, and Vegeta's like, is that red eye the mark of your people? And Granolah says, you claimed I'm not used to my power. And Vegeta says, yeah, I did. You haven't seen enough battle in your time. And Granolah says, well, I'll have to make up for that lack of experience against you now. You are not the only one who grows stronger the more he fights. Of course, Granolah has this ability too, why not? But this goes back to what I was talking about, Vegeta ironically constructing his own L's, because he revealed that he discovered this new form against Granolah. Therefore, he is inexperienced with it, right? Which we are going to see leads to his downfall. But going back to Granolah with the you're not the only one who grows stronger, I guess it's just further hammering home that Granolah has all of the best abilities that we have seen in the series, but just like a weird pseudo version of them. And also this gives an excuse as to why he's going to defeat Vegeta, despite Vegeta implying that he was the strongest in the universe after this, but it doesn't matter anymore. So he throws like a huge piece of that building at Vegeta and he knocks it away, but then Granolah uses the pieces to scatter around him, but then Granolah Hakkai's the scattered pieces around Vegeta. Or, like I was saying, his own pseudo version of a Kai. It has yet to be explained what Granolah is doing, but it's nearly a one-for-one recreation of a Kai. And this is really affecting Vegeta, like more so than it was before. Like he was getting amped by the damage he was taking, but this seems to be worrying him. It is Hakai after all, or pseudo Hakai, I don't know anymore. But then he's like, you'll go to any lengths then, meaning like he destroyed the ruins of his city, which, you know, a couple chapters back, he was very adamant about protecting. So yeah, just further showing us that Granolah has lost himself in this nonsensical revenge mission. I get it. I get what Toriyama is going for, but he's just going about it in like one of the least likable ways. So they continue to have like a competitive back and forth, and Vegeta's continuing to get stronger, and he's like, let's keep this up. I can grow even stronger. We're starting to see Vegeta like even beginning to lose himself in this. Then we're cutting back to the Goku show, and we're seeing what's going on with him. He's still recovering from his butt whooping that he received. And he's like, yikes, I can't be taking it easy on the sidelines forever. And we see him like healing himself. But the fundamentals of this is funny because Goku is basically doing the equivalent of this. But anyway, Granolah is like lighting up Vegeta with ki blasts, and Vegeta responds with his own like massive ki blast. It almost like resembles a Final Flash in a way. But of course, this does nothing to Granolah for some reason, and Vegeta appears to be reaching the point of diminishing returns. Like I was saying, he's setting up his own downfall here. Of course, he can only take so much damage. It's not like he'll eventually become the Grand Priest if you keep damaging him. So then Vegeta's like, all right, I'm almost completely gassed here. I gotta finish this. And he straight up does like a Hakai death ball, which is awesome. I'm loving that Vegeta does this. And this also goes back to what we were speculating about for the last month about what he could be doing with this form. You know, we thought maybe it was going to be similar to Toppo the Destroyer in the anime's continuity of the Tournament of Power. Like he was making these huge Kai energy balls, and it appears that Vegeta is doing that here. And he's like, you want to protect this planet? Well, then you better stop this. And Granolah's like, I don't need to. I got Plot on my side. And then he unlocks his left eye to match his right eye, so now he has double special cerulean eyes. I'm not sure why this is helping him combat against this, because as far as I know, it was only explained that this makes him like better at aiming and sniping, but I guess there's more to it, and he like double ki blasts the Hakai energy and makes it implode. And I gotta say, this is a pretty cool sequence. If this ever makes it to the anime, it's surely gonna be one of the highlights of that season. And this brings us to the infamous sequence that was revealed yesterday, where Vegeta appeared to be defeated by it, but it appears that it was just Vegeta taking the recoil of that massive Hakai energy explosion that just happened. And then Granolah hits Vegeta with the reverse Uno card, and he's like, I have to thank you, Saiyan. You're responsible for drawing out this power of mine. Then we're coming to the end of the chapter, and we're seeing that the Heeters are in fact on planet Cereal now, and Alex's like, yeah, all according to plan, which it is, because this is what he wanted. He wanted them all to kind of just take each other out. Then we see Gas with the Dragon Radar, and he's like, all good with this device too, Elec. We're about to reach our first location. And Elec's like, I can't wait to lay eyes on those so-called Dragon Balls that grant any wish. And that's the end of the chapter. So we've also been talking about this for a while. The Heeters are obviously going to make a wish, maybe even multiple wishes, since they don't have the recharge time that all the other Dragon Balls do. And I'm pretty sure one of the wishes is going to be Elect making Gas the strongest in the universe. Because that's going to tie back to what Vegeta was talking about to Granolah with, you know, you're the strongest in the universe at that point in time. So if this new strongest in the universe wish is going to be made, now Gas is the strongest, and he's a mutual villain for everyone to fight against. But also there's the chance that Frieza eventually comes into the arc and then makes a wish for himself, maybe even makes himself the strongest in the universe. I would so be on board with that. I don't want to get my hopes too high, you know, considering what Toriyama has been doing and continues to do. But that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Let me know what you think about this chapter in the comments. If you liked the video, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.